Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. And today I'm going to be giving you the top 5 reasons why you're not making sales with your KDP no content and low content books. So if this is you, then make sure you watch the whole video. Now, if you've not been here before, my name's Marles and I do videos on how to make it, keep it and grow it. And that's your money I'm talking about. And if you do like videos like that, then please do give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and also smash that notification bell to receive notification of when I produce more videos like this. So I'm going to be giving you the top 5 reasons why you're not making any sales or not making enough sales with your KDP no content and low content books. And this is from a combination of comments and questions I get on this channel and also on Instagram, but also on books that I get asked to review, which if you've seen any of those videos, you know that I do say that it's educational both for you guys and for myself. So let's get straight to it. So the first reason why you're not making sales is that you're not researching the niche thoroughly enough. And so what happens is you either target a niche that's too competitive or for which there's no market. For example, for the no market thing, let's say you've produced a notebook for people to record notes on their 17th century romantic poetry books. I've used that example before. Well, maybe a good idea, but the market is probably not big enough for that. And so the chances of you making a sale are very slim. On the other end of the spectrum, you've got the issue of targeting a niche that's too competitive. For example, say you've produced a dot grid notebook and you just publish that with the title dot grid journal or dot grid notebook, and then you put that out on Amazon. Well, it's extremely competitive, and so the chances of your book ranking and you making sales is very slim. So that's why you need to do things like niche research, keyword research, to find those sub niches and those keywords that have less competition but are also making sales. Now, I have done numerous videos on that. I'll leave a link above to my playlist on KDP book tutorials, where you can look at my recommendations for doing niche and keyword research. But I would say choosing a niche that's too competitive is one of the biggest issues. The second reason is that you're taking shortcuts. Now, I see people using copyrighted material, buying reviews. Now, those two things will get your account banned and could lead you into legal hot water as well. But also coming under that is the issue of copying. And this can range from copying a cover to copying the title, subtitle, description, or all of it. And the problem with this sort of business, and it's the same with t-shirts or merch by Amazon, is that the barrier to entry is particularly low. So you get these unscrupulous people that will copy work that you've produced. I see it as a fact of life, really. It's just part of the business. I don't get too worked up with it. I know some people do get worked up about it and will start issuing cease and desist notices and trying to take legal action, but that creates a whole lot of work, a whole lot of stress, and I prefer a less stressful life personally. But you know, whatever you do is up to you. Now, one of the problems with copying is that, imagine this scenario. You've got a book there on Amazon that's selling really well. It's got a low bestsellers rank and it's got quite a lot of reviews. And you think, oh, I could have a piece of that pie by just copying exactly, doing a cover that's very similar, copying the exact title, subtitle, description. Therefore, I'm going to make some sales on the back of that book. Well, just think, what would Amazon do? They've got this book that's targeting those particular keywords, has got that title, you know, has got that cover, and then yours comes along almost exactly identical. Which one is Amazon going to list? Are they going to list the one that's already established in the market, that's making good sales, or are they going to take a risk, take a punt on your book and put it up there as well and rank that highly? Well, I know the answer to that, and that is they won't rank your book. Amazon will not rank your book. It will go with the book that's selling well. They're in the business of making money. Why would they suddenly want to put this book that's identical against another book that's selling well and risk not making any sales? They just won't. So copying is one of the reasons I see people fail. Now here's an interesting example. I'll leave the link above to a book review video I did, and it was on this book here, and the title was misspelt. So the title was Gone Fishing instead of Gone Fishing. Interestingly, the author of this book messaged me recently to say, you know, even though I reviewed it and said the title was wrong, he was making sales. That's good. My argument would be, well, okay, just imagine if you'd spelt the title correctly, you may be making even more sales. Anyway, that's by the by and not the point of this video. But I wanted to show you this, in that next to it, there's this other book here with a very similar cover. Yes, it's pink, but it's got a similar font, this fishhook here. And look what they've done. They've copied the title almost exactly, Gone Fishing. Yes, I put Fishing Journal in the title, but Gone Fishing, Fishing Journal, the Perfect Fishing Notebook, and they've added a bit extra to the end. So they've copied the title and part of the subtitle as well. Now, I may be wrong, this may be the same author has thought they'd produce two with similar titles, but I suspect it's someone that's just gone out and copied it, maybe on the back of the video that I did previously. Again, this is one of the reasons why I see people fail, is that they do copy, and people ask me to review books that are blatant copies of other books, and I don't understand why they ask me to review those books, because it's obvious what they've done. But that's you know, one of the main reasons for failing also. Number 3, expectations are too high, which causes a decrease or lack of motivation. Now, from messages I get, I can tell the type of person that is going to have problems with this, and it usually starts with, I published my book 2 days ago, it's not appeared yet on Amazon. Okay, well, lower your expectations a bit and just be a bit more patient, because that's the other thing, part of this is the lack of patience. And then often the same person will send me a message 2 weeks later, 4 weeks later, saying, look, I published 4 books last month, I've not made any sales, what am I doing wrong? Well, as I've mentioned in other videos, there can be lots of factors that contribute to sales. You know, it's all to do with the traffic, it's all to do with the conversions. But if you're only producing 4 books and you've just started, then your expectations are way too high. This is a craft that you've got to learn, and you can only learn it by being patient, but by producing books, learning what sells, learning the craft of creating a cover that sells, learning about keywords, learning about the titles and subtitles. And so if you've only just produced 4 books, then to expect to start making sales, yeah, you may make 1 or 2. Chances are you won't make any until you start learning about what the business is about, because this is like any other business. There are skills you need to learn, and it takes practice. And the only way to learn it is by producing, see what sells, reproducing that. So again, it's that expectation. I've only produced 4 books, not made any sales. Well, you've got to again tailor your expectation. And I know a lot of people that are asking those questions won't continue with the business because expectations too high, causes a lack of motivation. They'll go to look to the next get rich quick type scheme. This isn't a get rich quick scheme by any means. It requires a lot of work, a lot of commitment, and regular work too. So we come to the 4th thing, and that's issues with grammar and spelling. I often see titles and subtitles with poor spelling, punctuation, capitalization, and grammar. And these are the things that will put customers off straight away. Now, I've mentioned before, the main markets you're going to be targeting are the US market, UK market, and Canada market. That's where I sell most of my books, and that's probably where you're going to sell most of your books. So if English is not your first language, and I know a lot of publishers that's exactly the case, then you've got to look at ways to overcome this issue. And so try and maybe get someone who speaks English as a first language to to review your title and subtitle, or use tools like Grammarly to check the punctuation. It's so important. It really does put customers off because it just reflects the overall quality, and customers will think this is not good quality. And probably Amazon as well won't list those books because they'll have algorithms that look at spelling and punctuation. If there's errors there, they probably won't push them up the rankings as well as you'd like. And then we come to the fifth and final thing that is one of the biggest factors I see of why people are not selling books, and that is the cover design. Now imagine books get ranked on Amazon. What's the first thing people see when they put in their keyword, their search keyword, their buyer's keyword? It's a list of books. It's the covers, and that's the thing that people will click on. And if your cover looks amateurish, isn't in keeping with the niche, or is targeting the wrong market, then customers will not click on that cover and you won't make that conversion. So even if you pay for ads, so you're paying for that traffic, you're going to miss out on the conversion part of the equation. And again, that equation is traffic plus conversions equals sales, and the cover is one of the main bits of the conversion factor. And if that's not up to scratch, then you're not going to get that click, you're not going to make that sale. Let's have a look at BookBolt. I want to show you something here. So I went to the notebook category and the cloud module of the software suite, and this will show us the top selling 100 books in this particular sort of keyword or category. And let's just have a look at the top few. And one of the things, this one's got a few graphics here, but still very basic. You can get those graphics from somewhere like Creative Fabrica. You know, if you go along and put in ABC graphics, you've got this clip art, so they're not complicated. But most of the covers are plain, simple, not too complicated. So let's just have a look down. So we've got the sketchbook again, that's just a coloured pattern. This handwriting one, very plain looking, nothing fancy. Look at these graph paper books, just plain patterned covers and a decent readable font that customers can see when they're looking at those small thumbnails on their phone or on the computer. Again, this one's a little bit more complicated, but the others just plain patterned, or you know, you've got even the interior on the cover here. Again, plain, nothing fancy. This one's a bit more fancy, I agree, and would take a bit more to create, but on the whole you can see that most of the best-selling books don't go out and get all these fancy graphics and create something elaborate. They're very plain and simple, and personally that's what I like to stick to in my books, and my best-selling books are very plain and simple. And unless you're a graphic designer, illustrator, I would stick to simple also. Even if you are a graphic designer, illustrator, you know, you've then got to experiment with creating fancy covers that are going to appeal to a market. You could spend days, weeks creating this beautiful cover that still may not appeal to the market for whatever reason. If you're a professional book cover designer, then that might be a different matter, but I'm suspecting majority of you aren't. So stick to simple covers, and in that way I think you've got the best chance of making sales. Again, books that people send me for review, the biggest problem is with the book covers. They're trying to make things too complicated and they just haven't got those skills to create attractive covers. Whereas if they created something more simpler, then they're going to get rid of that issue in terms of the sales equation. So then they can concentrate on other areas like the keywords, like the titles and subtitles, and optimizing those. So that's it. That's my 5 top reasons why you're not making sales. And that's not researching the niche, taking shortcuts, having expectations that are too high, poor grammar, punctuation, spelling in the titles and subtitles, and the cover design. So if you're not making those sales, just think about those factors. Go over some of your books, republish them with maybe, you know, different covers, or probably in a lot of cases, better still, unpublish, start from scratch, create new titles, subtitles, covers. Okay, that's it for now. I hope you found that useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and also smash that notification bell to receive notification of when I produce more videos. And until next time, goodbye.